Well, fellas, what an exciting pay-per-view we had there of WWE's Elimination Chamber. Everybody's getting a point. Everybody came out of the pod except
the dice.
Bogey. Oops.
Welcome to TFSPOD, otherwise known as the Few Show Podcast. This is 24/7 Lou, and that's...
It's RIC-HARD, wondering how I ended up with a four-way tie.
the only way you get a point. And that's...
the one-man band who now has a streak of 2 in a row.
Yeah. And our special guest for this episode is...
Jfew.
Yeah.
In the house?
Yeah, Jfew is in the house, so we have him here for this episode. It's going to be a very exciting episode, and we are going to be talking about the recap of WWE's Elimination Chamber. Once again, you're listening to TFSPOD, number one show on YouTube, number one show in your heart, and the show that kicks butts and takes names. Yes. So,
yep, it's a nothing but champs show. Dice, you're not welcome.
Yeah, get out of here, Dice, randomizer.
King Corbin winning a chamber. Get out of here.
Yeah, So let's kick off here with this event. First off, RIC-HARD, what's the scoreboard say out there?
All right, so we have 3 shows in the books. Everybody got a point on this one after we called an audible on the Money in the Bank cash-in. Mm-hmm. So we've got 24/7 Lou. You're at 2 points, and you are tied.
Yes.
In the overall with One Man Band, who is also at 2 points and developing a streak here. Then we got myself and Jfew at 1 point, and then Rhino, Bogey, and Big Al are not on the board. And the randomizer is at a hard 0.
Ooh.
But OMB is still the champion, correct?
Correction, it's TOMB.
No. Well, that's a whole different subject. Heath Slater's still employed somewhere, so that doesn't count. But the official standings are: you got Lou and One Man Band tied for world champ at the top, and then all 4 of us with this recent victory are now all 24/7 champs.
No. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Wait a minute.
That's how it goes.
No. If I recall, what did I miss? Oh, that's right. There was another pay-per-view.
Yes.
This month. Oh, so that's why you guys are tied for champion.
Don't worry.
Interesting.
There's a lot more to come up for events in the future here. So okay.
Hey,
so
all that matters is I have 2 belts.
We have 2 belts
right now. Right now, that belt's getting passed around more than Big Goldie.
Who had it first? Yeah, okay, that's right.
Wait, you said who had it?
Yeah, Lou. I don't know, Lou.
Who had it
first?
Calling
you out there.
I won. I was the first 2-time champ.
You were the first. Yeah, you were the first.
No. Let's get it right. I walked into 2021 as a champion. So technically, by default, on that end, I had to go first. Thank you very much. You can concede.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
You walked in as 24/7 champ, and that changed. That changed real quick. Now we're back to everybody. You know.
So let's talk about what happened on the show. On the pre-show, they did mention that Keith Lee was out, so the triple threat match was going to change with Lashley and Riddle, and who would win
out of a fatal four-way.
We had
and they gave John Morrison with the rub on that one. He got a win over Elias. I'm blanking out on the other
Mustafa Ali, and Mustafa Ali and Ricochet.
I'm still on this current champion situation between the One Man Band and 24/7 Lou. Now, is this title going around faster than the Bad Bunny 24/7 belt?
Nah. All right. So just to clear it up, the world champ is determined by who has the most points on the board. The 24/7 champ is determined by who got the most recent predictions win. So since all 4 of us got a point on the most recent prediction win, we're all 24/7 champ.
Yep.
You know.
So, but there's no rule in the handbook that says tiebreakers are done through backyard wrestling.
Look, first off, if there was that rule book, we all know I would win.
What?
Wow.
Okay.
Second of all, no. There's plenty of more shows and events coming up. We'll break this tie very soon. Don't worry.
So let's go to our first match that they had in the event,
Yeah.
which was the Elimination Chamber, which was I don't know. To me, it was a surprise that they put that at the beginning of the show.
Oh no, they started the show off hot with one of the most unpredictable matches of the night.
Yeah. Because
And that was so unpredictable, nobody got it right.
All right, Rick-Hard, who did we have in that match, and what were the picks that we all had?
All right, so the participants in that match were Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, who both started the match off. You had Kevin Owens in the match, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, our Ginger Castro, and the randomizer's favorite pick, King Corbin. And you had me and One Man Band picking Cesaro. You had the randomizer picking King Corbin. You had Jfew picking Jey Uso, who actually made it to the final two. And you had Lou picking Kevin Owens, who got eliminated about halfway in. However, nobody called the winner correctly because the match was won by none other than the Yes Man, Daniel Bryan.
All right. Let me start off by asking the One Man Band, what's your take on that match?
So, for me, I feel like this was the match of the night because it really was just compelling. I mean, I said Cesaro was going to win, and it looked like it was going to pan out. But I will say that ending was really good. Was a really good match. Daniel Bryan having shades of 2014 in his belt again. That was a really, really good sequence that he had to win. I mean, like I said, I still think that Cesaro would have been more compelling, but hey, I gotta hand it to him. Man. That was a good one. That to me, that was the match of the night.
And Jfew, what was your take on that one?
I thought it was a good match. Great way to start off the event. I liked the Daniel Bryan and Cesaro starting off the match.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was great. They have great chemistry, and it added fire to the beginning of the event. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match. Pretty solid. I give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay, wow. All right, and Rick-Hard, how close were you to the edge of your seat while watching that match and watching Cesaro?
Lou, forget how close I was to the edge of my seat. You want to hear my take on that? Cesaro could have won and been the one to get his ass kicked the next match. Okay, that could have easily been Cesaro.
I agree.
Okay, so yeah, and then our winner was Daniel Bryan, and
damn it, Jey Uso. Oh.
Unfortunately, we didn't see what I thought was going to happen, which was Kevin Owens winning the match.
Kevin Owens winning the match.
And then letting Cesaro, because of his good effort, go in and fight.
But you know what? Yeah, you can take it.
yeah, go in. I'm tired. You win.
I won the match, but you wrestled pretty hard.
Which, looking back now at it, if Daniel Bryan should have done that because he was gassed. He was done when he faced Roman Reigns. I don't know, WWE. We're onto something over here.
That's actually, that'd be a pretty funny concept if, oh, I'm not going to win this here. I'm going to tag you in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna call in a substitute.
I can go on.
So, and then that led up to the next matchup, which was Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns, and that was a squash. We all picked Roman Reigns.
I mean, we all picked Roman Reigns.
Except randomizer.
No, actually, the randomizer. The randomizer picked TBA, which it thought would be King Corbin. Now, Daniel Bryan did get that very, very momentary appearance of he might pull a victory out of his hat.
Yeah,
that was
opener. That was good. That was a good opener.
He got the yes lock in reversal, I think, for the spear.
Yeah, he countered the spear and
Reigns just snuffed that out real quick and just pounded on him.
Yeah.
And match over. That was good. And then we got the spot that one man band called. We all kind of mentioned it, but one man band specifically said it would probably happen. Edge with a spear on Reigns, and Lou, it's your favorite gesture, the point to the sign.
Yes. Point to the sign.
And indeed, as soon as he pointed, it fell off into explosion of fireworks.
Which I thought was going to be the ending of the show. I thought that was going to happen at the end of the show, but not that what we had. But we'll get to that.
That's what, right? Yeah.
You don't end the yeah. I was going to say you don't end the show on a squash match, but
that's what I was going to say.
But thinking about with the match that ended it, it was kind of a squash.
Yeah.
Right.
I have my theory.
That was kind of cool though. Like when it started off, and for a moment there, you thought, "Oh my God, he's going to tap." You know, I was like, but then of course things change quickly.
Yep.
Yeah. Typical cheap heat Reigns.
Mm-hmm. And then what was our next match, RIC-HARD?
If I'm not mistaken, the next match was it was the triple threat match that we all kind of threw shade at. This is Jfew's moment of shine here. Yeah. It was Bobby Lashley versus Matt Riddle versus John Morrison. And if I recall correctly, my pick was that Matt Riddle would take the pin.
We all said it.
One man band. We all said it. Yeah. Matt Riddle would take the pin, and I think the only person that disagreed with us, aside from Jfew, was the randomizer who picked Keith Lee, which a lot of good that did.
Man,
and Jfew, you picked Matt Riddle. Go ahead, tell us your logic here.
Wait, before you say that, I want to remind everyone you listen to TFS Pod, the Few Show podcast. Number one show in your heart, number one show on YouTube, number one show in your girlfriend's heart. Yeah, we're gonna take her too. So go ahead,
and your boyfriend's heart too.
I don't know about that. So good, Jfew. Tell us, what was your take on that?
So I haven't really been watching too much of Raw or any wrestling. I just been watching.
Good, very good mental health move. Good, go ahead.
I've been kind of seeing, like the messages from our chat about, like the Raw matches and SmackDown and you guys going back and forth about everything. So, I don't know. I find the Matt Riddle character cool and in boots, but I tend to go to a lot of wrestling news sites, and a lot of the news sites have been reporting that Vince McMahon is really high on this guy. Like he looks at him as like the next Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels, and I don't know if this Matt Riddle guy likes having his hair that way, and maybe Vince really likes that, and he's trying to push this guy as much as possible. Because from what I hear is, if you get on Vince's good side, you're going to get a lot of push.
Yeah.
I think Vince just doesn't know what the presidents are either. Which is why he was like, yeah, Matt Riddle. There you go. I guess pretty smart.
Yeah. So that's why. That's why I picked him. So I just thought that Bobby would probably drop the title.
Hey, good call.
Yeah, and possible.
Turns out they got bigger things for him planned. I don't know what that entails, but
we'll see.
That's good.
You called it.
So yeah, and that gave you a point above all of us, Jfew. So that was a good move. And RIC-HARD, what was the next match we had?
And the next match was it was Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, the Mishmash Tag Team, versus Shayna Baszler and Tailbone Jax.
My hole!
In a tag team title match for the women's tag titles. And we saw with some interference by the wine boy, as Nia Jax likes to call him. He cost the match for Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, which saw the champs retain. Everybody called it, including the randomizer.
And I have to say one thing. That is a waste of having the tag titles out there. I know that this was a replacement.
It filled in the spot for
the women's Raw.
Lacey Evans, and Asuka. Yes,
but
I liked it. It was pretty neat.
Yeah.
As I mentioned it before, it looks like Carmella's getting the Mark Mero treatment, though.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. All right, so then what was
Wild man Mark Mero.
And then we all got a point on that one. And okay, what was the next match we had?
And then we had the main event for the night.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't.
Oh yeah.
No, we covered the tag match, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. That was quick.
Yeah,
that was quick.
Because there wasn't much in there. I mean, what?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot to talk about aside from that.
I like the tag match. I thought it was getting pretty good, but then that annoying idiot came out. I was surprised.
Hey! Don't hit on Reginald. What are you talking about?
Man, that Reginald, he ruined it, man. Like they were having good chemistry in that match.
Yeah, but they were not going to win.
All their drop kicks,
they were not going to win. I mean, you knew they were not going to win because they have a bigger match coming up.
Yeah, well, whatever. All right, let's get to the main event now.
All right, so the main event. So who do we have, RIC-HARD?
All right, main event time. It was Raw's Elimination Chamber match, which featured all current or former WWE champions. You had Drew McIntyre, Kofi Kingston, AJ Styles, the randomizer's pick. Sheamus.
He did pretty good.
AJ Styles did do pretty good. More on that.
Yeah,
we'll cover that. We'll cover that. They gave him a unique spot in the match, too, which I thought was cool. Who else was in the match? Oh, why am I drawing a blank? Randy Orton, Jfew's pick, and Jeff Hardy. Yes, it makes sense that Jeff Hardy would be the last one, and Sheamus. the last one in the match, Sheamus.
The person that never wins, right?
Right?
Isn't
if you're number 6, in the chamber, very rarely do you win. I think the only person to ever win from number 6 was Shawn Michaels in the very first one, I think.
Oh yeah. Wow.
And since then, never again, by my knowledge.
Was that in 2002?
Yep, 2002. Yep,
in New York City.
Wow.
So this match was a very good match. What do you guys rate this? One man band. What do you think about this match?
I give this, for me, I give it a 7.5.
Okay.
Out of 10.
Okay.
I had a feeling that Drew was gonna retain. I did, however, teeter with the idea of Sheamus probably winning it. But then, as you guys remember, we were talking about it, said, last person, is not going to win it. But,
yeah.
I mean, it did look pretty compelling at one point. I mean, it came down to Sheamus, AJ Styles, and Drew McIntyre. And, let's talk about that spot with AJ Styles when Randy Orton seemed, like we talked about this, it seemed like it might have been a botch. A botch pin.
Yeah. Jfew said that, and he was like, "I think my pick would have won if it wasn't for that botch."
I mean, hey, it did look kind of weird because notice how, as soon as that happened, when they opened the pod, you saw AJ Styles say, "Omos, get me out of here!" And Omos just pulled the panel out, and AJ Styles was able to get into the chamber, and Randy looked at him kind of like, whatever, like pissed off, but just walked off. And then AJ Styles just inserted himself into the match. He never officially got the pot open. He just went in.
So this is the second time that Randy acts all weird. Like first it was at the Rumble with the leg, right? Wasn't that with like when he was like, "Oh my God, my leg"?
Oh yes,
yes. The excuse to leave the match and then come back in at the end. I know. Yeah, Orton's had a weird early part of the year.
I will say also really quick, I'm surprised that there was no Fiend running. I predicted that there was going to be a Fiend running where like so maybe it'll appear on the pod with Randy Orton. But
at the very least, you would have thought Alexa Bliss would show up or something.
Yeah, it would have been something. Like should have had something, but no, they didn't. They didn't tease it, which kind of disappointed.
Lost
but,
opportunity right
it is
there.
what it is.
Yeah,
There was.
And-
There were
and-
several missed opportunities in this pay-per-view. Several, in my opinion.
I enjoyed the main event. It was my my pick of the night as my favorite match. One thing that I see is that Drew McIntyre is a freaking beast. He is like, it's amazing from the 3MB, right? All the way to what he is now. He's just like, wow, the guy could really wrestle, fight, everything. Like, I love him as a champion.
Yeah.
I should have picked him, but I was like, I want to. I don't know. So I picked Randy Orton, but he just, after Randy Orton lost, it just took, I didn't think any of those guys could beat Drew. The only one was like OMB was kind of teetering with Sheamus. So, Sheamus, he looks pretty good too.
Yeah, that was a good storyline they were setting up for us with that.
Oh my God, when those two guys started punching each other and going at it, that was awesome. That was just like, they weren't holding back. And, well, we all know what happened.
They were ready.
afterwards.
As I said, they were ready to fight.
And we'll get to that in 1 second. Just want to remind everyone you listen to TFS Pod, number one show on YouTube, number one show in your
I
heart.
really enjoyed that match.
Oh yes. And now RIC-HARD, tell us what happened next and what are part of the predictions that we were talking about during our prediction show. Go ahead. What happened next after Drew McIntyre?
Well, okay. So after like I predicted, AJ Styles almost won the championship. I know I had to go on with that. You had Drew McIntyre in the ring, and I kind of got an inkling for it once they teased it with MVP talking to Miz before the match.
Yep.
I'll even go one further after you're done. I'll tell you where I feel like I knew it was going to happen.
The minute they started raising the chamber, and they didn't cut away, I was like, oh, here we go, it's gonna happen. And then sure enough, Bobby Lashley. Now I had thought that maybe you'd have the whole Hurt Business to attack him, but I think it's very telling that only Bobby Lashley attacked him.
He was angry. He was upset.
He was upset. Oh, come on, it was planned.
No, I think
this was planned. The fix is in.
Man, I think him and Lana broke up.
Yeah, it happened a while ago. I want to. Yeah, they got divorced back in the summer, buddy.
Yeah, the divorce finalized.
I don't know. I mean, he seemed pretty angry. I mean, I don't know why he was so mad.
He lost the U.S. He lost the U.S. title. I think that's the story they went with.
But Drew didn't do nothing to him.
Yeah, it wasn't Drew he lost it to. He lost to Riddle, not the Drew.
I don't know. It seemed kind of racist.
He got confused with a long-haired guy. He's like, I got to attack somebody with long hair. And AJ Styles didn't win, so he said, let's go with Mac.
So Lashley attacked Drew.
So you had Lashley come out, beat up Drew, and with no uncertain terms, just completely go after him. I think he banged Drew's head against the table like a good 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
Hurt lock, full Nelson slam. He walks out of the ring, and then you hear it. It hits on the Titantron.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get ready here. And then he came to play, and there was a price to pay.
That was great when RIC-HARD called that. I think every time from now on, every time RIC-HARD or anybody gets a prediction, there should be like a little gif of RIC-HARD. During that time when I was at his house, and he jumped off his couch when the Undertaker came out, and he defeated John Cena, tombstoned him. Yeah, that's
all right. For those people who don't know the story,
oh God,
I'll tell it real quick. It was WrestleMania 34. WrestleMania 34. This was when they were doing that feud with Cena and Taker, and everybody was like, "Oh, is Taker going to show up? Is he not? Is he not?" And the entire night, I was wearing a shirt that said, it was a fan-made shirt that said, Undertaker, 1990 to 2017. You know, and it was a retirement shirt, this and that. Cena gets in the ring. He gets interrupted by Elias, and I'm like, yeah, guys, you see, like I told you, he's retired. It's over. You know, it was a good run. Cena made a good attempt, this and that. Cena's walking up the ramp. Lights go out. Taker's music hit. I immediately take that shirt off to reveal an Undertaker shirt. And I'm just like, I told you he was going to be. You all didn't believe me.
You pulled a Major League 2 with that fan that it was like, they'll blow it in the ninth, and then when Rick Vaughn comes back from he's like, blow it out, you know what?
And then not only did I get to see Taker squash Cena in 3 minutes, I did it. It happened right in front of Jfew's kids who both had John Cena gear on.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's right. I'm pointing at them like, that's right. That's what you get.
I think that was the end of their Cena fanhood.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I regret nothing. Heel for life.
One Man Band. What was your take on that match? That you said you had certain things that you saw in there on that.
So, for me, I felt like there were two things that happened. Well, actually three that made it telling that the Miz was in a cash-in. Number one, that John Morrison won the pre-show match. That kind of told me, oh, okay, this is kind of a possibility. Then the first match, when Edge came out after Roman Reigns winning, and him declaring that he was going to WrestleMania against Roman, I was like, oh, okay, wait a second. There's something cooking here today. And then the final thing was when you saw, we mentioned it, that it cut to Miz and MVP talking to each other. And kind of like you saw Miz doing like, oh, yeah. I knew right then and there, I said, oh yeah, he's catching it.
Mm-hmm.
Fix is in.
The fix was in because, like I said, that John Morrison win, that to me was already an inkling like, oh, hey, it's going to be a Miz and Morrison night. I mean, yeah, Morrison didn't win the belt, but hey, he was in the match.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was in the match was already good enough. And he had a few good spots in, you know.
He had a good showing.
He did a nice Starship Pain on Lashley.
Yeah.
So that was a good move. And then, you know, it just the way that things set up, you know, now you've got Bobby Lashley going after Drew McIntyre now, it seems. So it seems like they're elevating Bobby Lashley now. That's why they got the belt off him. You know, which originally I thought that he was going to be just too strong just to keep him at WrestleMania with the belt, but now I guess it makes more sense. But now the question is this. Are we going to see Miz champion through WrestleMania?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Or is he going to be a transitional champion?
I think he'll hold it.
I
think he'll hold it.
You think he'll hold it?
Or option 3.
My question is this.
Option 3, One Man Band. I have option 3. Otis goes for it. Otis and Miz in WrestleMania. Yeah.
Oh boy!
Wow!
Yeah! Oh yeah!
No.
So here's an interesting caveat now. Okay, so here's a very interesting caveat now. You notice that they were doing Bad Bunny versus Miz and Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Now the Miz is champion.
Oh no.
So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look, Miz has a history of having some very interesting people challenging for the title. Let's not forget, during his first reign, he had Jerry Lawler looking like a legit challenger.
I remember that.
Oh yeah.
So I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if you see Bad Bunny.
I think that
for some reason challenging for the WWE title.
I think it won't be Bad Bunny. I think Alex Riley will make a comeback, challenge Miz, main event WrestleMania, and become the new champion.
Look.
And then John Cena comes and squashes him again.
No.
Look. I find it funny that you mentioned Alex Riley because me and the guys were talking about it off the show last time we recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Riley, I hate to break this to you, Jfew. Alex Riley's finisher is getting pinned.
Oh my god!
Wow.
But honestly, though, think about this. This is going to be a very interesting situation because now are you gonna put him against Bad Bunny now in the next pay-per-view, or are you gonna save it for WrestleMania?
Oh my god!
I highly doubt.
Definitely not.
I highly doubt that you're gonna put the Miz versus Bad Bunny with Miz as champion at WrestleMania. It just doesn't make sense. So, are you gonna have Miz be the champion even as far as going up to Fastlane? Because what's to say that he doesn't lose the belt tomorrow?
Yeah,
that's all possible. Very possible. But I'm inclined to. I'm going to go with the bold prediction here. Miz holds on to the championship and he takes it all the way to Mania, and he's probably going to retain it at Mania too.
Yeah.
He's got a history. He's got a history of retaining it at Mania. Let's not forget.
He does. He does.
Maybe
first person. People forget this. First person to score a pinfall win against John Cena in a singles match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, good. Very true.
Maybe John Cena comes back, challenges the Miz. It'll be like 10 years in the making, or I don't know how long has it been since they?
It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years.
Well, unless you call the wives versus fiance match.
Oh yeah,
mixed tag match. I was there live to see that proposal, and it ended up going nowhere. Unbelievable.
Yeah. What a shame.
She wanted kids, and he wanted movies.
and what? He definitely got his.
He definitely did. And
she didn't see him at the wedding.
All right.
You can't see me.
He waved his hand in front of his face and he disappeared.
He took the ring off.
With the ring. Both the wrestling ring and the wedding ring.
I want to remind everyone.
Knuckle shuffle,
I want to remind everyone that listen to TFS Pod, and the TFS Pod, number one show on YouTube, number one show in your heart, number one show in your girlfriend's heart, and
your fiance's heart.
Yes, there you go.
Oh,
also, okay,
fiance in this case.
Okay, so let's do this one last thing. What do you guys rate this show? Let's start with RIC-HARD. What do you rate this show?
I'm gonna. It feels like there were a couple missed opportunities, like One Man Ben said. I'm gonna rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, a solid 3.
Yeah.
3? All right.
But you know what? I'll boost it only because my boy Miz won his second WWE title. Pretty good moment. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. 3.5 out of 5.
All right. The One Man Band.
I'm actually gonna give it a 3.25, and the reason is because of the fact that Miz won the belt. I'm gonna give it a 3.25 because if not, it would have been a 3 on the dot. Because as I said, I really feel like the Cesaro Seth Rollins thing was a complete missed opportunity.
Yeah.
I feel like their storyline could have been advanced quite a bit in this situation. I feel like Reigns and Edge. I don't know. It's just something about it just doesn't feel like it's going to be like the main event that I'd hoped. Mm-hmm. I don't feel it. It doesn't make sense to me. Spear versus Spear, I get it, but it just doesn't seem believable.
Yeah, all I see is Reigns beating up another old guy at WrestleMania.
Pretty much. That's what I feel like. It doesn't seem like Edge is going to win the belt at this point.
Yeah.
Because I had other ideas in my head that would have panned out. Like Edge could have came out as champion and then, had to cash in or whatever, but that's not going to happen now. You had on top of that, it didn't feel right. I'm happy that Miz cashed in. I'm very happy that he finally got his. I'm very happy that finally the briefcase is out of the picture. But it just, to me, like, I felt like there was just more could have been done. And also, the whole Lacey Evans and Asuka, obviously Lacey Evans, sidelined with pregnancy. Asuka not defending in the pay-per-view was kind of a letdown. That was a downer there. You could have easily had somebody jump in, and now that women's title picture is up in the air now because what do you do?
It's an afterthought.
Now you know what? They could have done something with either with Alexa Bliss But you would have to set that stuff up on Monday, because at least you had a little bit of a history there. But you would have to set that stuff up on Monday instead of just this mess of, okay, she's pregnant, but we told you, but we have nobody who she's gonna face. So it's
they kind of caught themselves with their pants down.
Yeah.
In this sense.
Yeah. Oh, and Jfew, what do you rate this show?
TFS podcast, I would say a 10. It's the number one show in your girl's heart.
We know. I meant Elimination Chamber.
Damn right.
Oh, Elimination Chamber. I want to say I enjoyed it. I watched the whole thing, and a lot of times when I watch wrestling, I get bored, and I'll just be flipping channels. So, yeah, I would give this a 3.5 out of 5 because a couple of things that I felt were kind of weird. One was the Randy Orton thing.
He didn't win?
That pin. No, not the pin. That pin. That was.
You can't take points off the show because your picks didn't win. Come on.
No, but that pin was weird, and the reactions. It was funny to see though, but I don't know. It just felt kind of weird. And then the missing match with Lacey Evans. I mean, they could have replaced it and put another match, but they had time. The show ended at 9:30, so I was like, "Come on, man! Like, do something for the fans. Like, do something special. I don't know. Bring all the guys out. Do a battle royal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something. But it was a match I was missing, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it felt like.
And then, the first match was pretty good. I really enjoyed that. The second match, with Roman and poor Daniel Bryan, that was crazy. That was crazy. The guy was so big.
Man was sleeping in the ring.
When he saw Roman come out, his eyes, he looked like a cartoon. It was hilarious. He had no chance in hell. But for a second there, I was like, oh my God. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was good. I mean, so far, for the beginning of 2021, I've enjoyed I only got to see 2 of the 3 pay-per-views, but the 2 that I've seen, they were pretty enjoyable.
All right. And now for me, I rate this show a 3. The Elimination Chamber, only because the only reason is
almost not a Miz fan.
The only reason is because Lashley lost. And Kevin Owens lost, which would have been the points I would have gained, and if not, I would have rated it a 5. I would have won.
Lou, we've been over this. You can't rate the show lower because your picks didn't win.
Well, I don't know. That's how I felt. I would have been happier, but now I'm stuck in a 4-way tie with 3 other people, and I'm co-champion of this thing. So yeah, it's a 3.
So not to take anything away either, but with Lacey Evans. So she really is pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what I was reading on one of the wrestling sites. It's pretty crazy how these girls,
women.
It's like they get to the top, and then boom, this happens. Because the same thing happened with Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
they were just up there like top tier, and then boom.
Yeah. They're out of the picture for a year. Almost.
Yeah, for a year.
Wow. And also a quick breaking news. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. As of today, Bailey is actually single now. She her and her fiance have officially split.
Mm-hmm.
So
no more hugs.
Wow. So Bailey, if you're listening to TFS podcast, number one show of your girl's heart, my good friend RIC-HARD and the one-man band are single.